What's going on, Walter? John Riggins coming to you again today. Thanks so much for being interested in my thoughts and opinions on your show. I hope that more people will look at the show that you're doing and the series, and that we'll be able to get the word out, and hopefully we'll spread the word. So what I'm looking at here right now is the third episode, the Christmas episode, and I'll probably upload this here in the next day or so. Infinity Trinity, Episode 3, A Very Krampus Christmas. I really did like it, and there was a lot of humor in it, and I'm just going to kind of break it down, again, scene by scene like I did the last time. I've got my notes in front of me, so here we go. The Santa scene. I definitely feel like your cinematography has improved between this episode and the last one. You had a lot of nice dynamic shots, you set the good tone, and you have a very hilarious end joke with Walter waking up. It's cliche, but it's a cliche that holds to the test of time, and if done right, is very funny, and you did do it very right, and that's just because you have very good reaction, and you do great. I wouldn't say mugging. When you mug for the camera, obviously you're making a great face, but you have a very animated face, and that's very good to have. It portrays a lot of emotion, and that's one of the things I wanted to say. Your child actor that you picked for this scene, he was really good too. He didn't have any lines, but he emoted really well, and that was another thing that I wanted to talk about. But that's really all I had for the first little opening scene. For the practice recital scene, I think that the lady playing MJ has an amazing talent. She's very talented. She's got a great singing voice. So it was actually quite a pleasure to hear her sing, because a lot of times people will pick actors that aren't necessarily a triple threat. They can't act, dance, and sing. And it seems like she can at least do two. I haven't seen her dance, but at least she's got the first two down from what we can see. So you've got great talent there, and of course Riley and yourself are great talents as well. But she really was the carrying force behind that scene. I feel like the stakes were much higher, and the acting is improving more and more with each episode. And it really does feel like the actors are really coming into their own with their characters. Like they're getting more comfortable in that skin of Riley, of MJ, of Eddie. So that's really good. And I just want to say that Riley is just so awkwardly adorable the more he interacts with MJ. Like, I really like this relationship you're building. It's a very natural, kinesthetic relationship. For the Krampus research scene, you've got a nice wordless beginning, and you really see the insanity of Eddie's knowledge of Krampus kind of sinking into his emotion. I really like that. A nice touch with the Ed X, the hat, the little gaffer's tape on it. You could see it. It was funny. Let's see. There really wasn't anything else in that scene. There wasn't a lot coming up. It's just everything was really good. When you're doing the ice skating scene, it's a really great tracking shot, and you've got really good character building in this scene. We learn a lot more about MJ. We learn a lot more about kind of like how Riley interacts and who he is as a character. And I think you're doing a very good job of something that I know that Doug talks about in a lot of his videos of show, don't tell. That's very important in this business, and you're doing a great job at that, and just keep it up. Watch the diction of your actors would be the only note that I have there, like an improvement note, because when MJ says sledding, it really sounded a lot like slutting. So you gotta watch the diction of your actors, which is funny, and it would apply more for a Halloween episode than a Christmas episode, if that was indeed what she would say, like slutting around. The scene reminds me a lot of the scene from Gremlins when the lead actress is talking about how her father died in the chimney on Christmas Eve. It had that feel to it. I mean, it wasn't the same, obviously, but it just made me think about that. So I don't know if you meant that to be kind of a reference to that movie, but it felt like it was. So that's a good reference if it was. I love Linda and Liz. What can I say? The restaurant scene, I absolutely adore those two actors. Whatever you do, don't lose them. They just leave an impression whenever they're on the screen. They're not usually on the screen for a long time, but they leave an impression and you remember them. And that's what I like about them. And that's good because obviously Liz has a big role to play, but she can't be in as many scenes as your main characters. And I really do like her, and it's a good build-up from her cool anger into hot anger, which is what I talked about in your last episode review. I felt like the the scare at the end, the little jump scare at the end with Linda in the Krampus mask, I felt that was good, and it was a good build-up to his fear of Krampus. How does she know? Where did she get that from? That would be the only thing that I would question. And I want to talk more about the Krampus storyline here in just a little bit. The pawn shop scene, all I had to say is, wow, this crowd really wanted to hear this recital. And MJ was not having it. And I really liked the overlay of MJ performing while Riley does his hunt for the necklace. That was a good, that was good interactive storytelling right there, and I really enjoyed that scene. You really did capture the spirit of a Christmas episode, of a Christmas movie, almost like one of those Hallmark Christmas movies. You really do capture that. Let's see here. Ben's present scene. Linda has respect for her boss, but damn, she puts up with some chicanery at this job. Yeah, she does, and I see where she's like a really good character. This is a pretty decent scene too. Good acting, good delivery, but the one thing that I have to say is Stack's voice, the man who speaks for Stack. I know what you're going for here, but it's coming off more monotone rather than emotionless and cold-hearted. I feel like he is less in the business of fear and more in the business of recitation. The fireplace, though, and the mood lighting really help set your tone of what you're going for with this character, but it just felt a little flat. That would be the only thing that I could say. But I do understand, I reciprocate where you're going with this character, with this scene. And you're doing a good job of setting up that mood, but I really feel like you could push that actor further. I really feel like you could push that tone further, and I don't hold back. Like I've said in a couple different episodes, don't hold back. Push forward. You could pull back if it's too much. But I also understand time and budgetary restraints. So there's that. Let's see. Riley's return scene is extremely heartwarming and has a good use of mistletoe. I really can't say anything about that particular scene that needs improvement. It was good, you know? I feel like you had a very great ending. Oh yeah, this is the final thoughts. Yeah, I feel like you had a great ending. You had a great episode. Of the 3 episodes, I feel like this is your strongest one. But I will say this, that I was kind of sad that we didn't see a payoff for your Krampus storyline. We didn't see anything else come of it. We heard some kind of loud growl burp at the end, like he ate the cookies. But other than that, I really didn't see much more of a payoff, like a tail or, you know, a dark figure passing by. Maybe I missed that while I was making a note. But if I did miss that, and I look away for a second, and if I missed that, that's not a strong enough payoff. I really feel like you could have used, in that moment, maybe like a jump cut here and there. Or maybe not like a jump cut. What's the word I'm looking for? Well, maybe, yeah, like a jump cut where it's just like, as Walter's dreaming, you start to wonder, is Walter dreaming of Krampus, or does Krampus truly exist? So you see like a flash of the demon Krampus, just, and then he finally wakes up, and he doesn't see like maybe the milk and cookies were turned over, and you think, okay, well, was the milk drank, or did it spill on the carpet and turn over and he can't see it? Or like there's a couple bites out of the cookies, or the cookies are crumbled, you know, something to give us that little bit of payoff, like, oh crap, maybe Krampus is real, but maybe he's not. So I feel like that was a little disappointing. Overall, I just want to reiterate, this is your strongest episode, and I think your series works really well when it's just your main cast of characters and maybe a couple of the established side characters. I think it works best not when you're bringing in a brand new character to forward the scene. So, and that's because your actors are getting used to each other, and they're getting used to the characters, and they're getting used to the people that they're used to acting with. I really, and one of the things, this is the other notes I said with the payoff with Krampus, and I feel like you could have brought Ben into that as well, into this realm of the Krampus, the the Krampus believability. I even wrote down a lines like, "Oh God, not this." Ben would say, "Oh God, not this again." You know, Eddie, you're not a kid anymore. Santa's not real, and by proxy, neither is Krampus. Grow up. And that you could see that little bit of that more tension between the brothers, like, and the little Christmas card between Eddie and Ben was a really good touch. It's like it really is trying to pull Ben into this idea of, okay, well maybe I do love my brother. Maybe I don't hate him as much as I said in the last episode. But there still needs to be that tension, that driving force. That it's like you gotta think of these two guys like a magnet. Like they're constantly pushing and pulling against each other. I'm pulling Eddie into me because I need him to save my own skin, but I'm at the same time pushing him away because I don't want to really get close to my brother. I don't like him. I can't stand him because of something that obviously happened in their past. I'm guessing it had something to do with their parents. And that's good that you were able to establish that. This was the other thing that I didn't write, that I wrote down but I didn't talk about, and I hate that I didn't talk about it. It was in the pawn shop scene when he's looking for the present and he's searching for the necklace that MJ talked about in her story. I would have loved it if the cougar had been the one that purchased the necklace. And it's just one more thing to bring Riley and the cougar back together. Like, oh, maybe this is a Christmas miracle. He goes, maybe. Oh, God, what do I got to do to get this necklace from you? Oh, and then she does something that could also create romantic tension between Ben, the cougar, and MJ. So that's, oh, somebody was writing to me. So that's just more to consider. Obviously, this isn't something that you can go back and fix now, but going forward, think about these things, you know, when you're writing the script. I don't know if you write the script or who writes the script, but when you're going forward, think about your dramatic tension, about this idea of push and pull with these characters. And that's all I really have to say about this episode. I know this is probably a shorter video than my last ones, thank God. I don't like them to be too long. I should have pulled up some stuff here too. Yeah, right here, the FedEx or the edX scene.
That's me. Who's it from?
Hey, Pete Peters.
Is that electrical tape on his head, or is that gaffer's tape? Is the first thing that I think of. Gaffer's tape is like a save-all, be-all for that. So yeah, just you've got some solid stuff here. Like right here is what I was talking about for Riley. Like if Riley showed up at the woman's door and it's, move my camera out of the way. Like if Riley showed up and it's the cougar that's been tailing him for the past 2 episodes. Because you don't see her in this episode. And I understand if it's a situation where, oh, I couldn't get her for this episode, she was not available. You know, I definitely understand that. But I think that it could have been funnier in that instance. So, but I don't want to sit here and repeat myself. Thank you for sitting down and taking the chance to watch this video and to talk with me about it. I really appreciate you giving me this chance to chat with you. And hopefully we'll see you soon. All right, and we'll talk to you later. I can't wait for the 4th episode.